if you guys are a collector of DC movie figures, then this video is probably for you. If you're not, then maybe not. But, stick around and enjoy what you see here. Now, if you guys heard already, James Gunn has announced his 8 to 10 year DC plan with the DCU. James Gunn also talked about, what projects were currently happening, such as Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2, which he pretty much said everything was fantastic. And the projects that are going to come out, he also pretty much said they were all fantastic. Will they actually all be? Who knows? But there's definitely some stuff to consider what we were just told. Now, The Flash, I don't know. It's going to reboot the DC universe. That's what is definitely confirmed because that's what James Gunn repeated. Who's going to stay a part of it? Who knows? I really hope they get rid of Ezra Miller, though. That's what I'm praying for. Get rid of Ezra because that person deserves to be gone. If Henry Cavill's gone, then Ezra better be gone. But I digress. So there is a few projects, though, that were announced. A few TV show, a few movies, and a few animated. Nothing with video games, even though that is supposed to be a part of the plans. I'm guessing that's just what's going to be announced later as Chapter 1. Pretty interesting. I don't know how everyone's going to want to stick around and watch or play a game, depending on what the game is about. That's going to be pretty interesting, and I don't know if a lot of people are going to take that into account from the movies and games. It's pretty weird. See if this works or not. But McFarlane has a lot of figures to make. Now, McFarlane does make figures based off of the video games, based off movies and TV shows. We've seen him release figures from all types of things in the world. Now, how are we going to see some of these other figures getting made? Now, there is a lot of stuff to go over here. Now Superman, he's gonna have his movie, so that's obviously gonna get made into a figure, and probably with characters within there, we're gonna see some figures of that world, and hopefully we get a villain we haven't seen before, because I don't want to see a Zod, I don't want to see a Lex Luthor, I want to see someone like we haven't seen before. Of course, there's the Batman movie, The Brave and the Bold, not the Batman from Matt Reeves, which is a DC Elseworlds movie now. So it's not going to be connected whatsoever. So we should see some Batman 2 figures for that. But we'll also see some Batman Brave and the Bold, which is Batman and Damian Wayne. And apparently the Batman family will be a part of it. Who knows who's going to be in there? But we'll probably get a figure of them. McFarlane probably is going to take advantage of anything Batman related, let's be honest. Now, what he probably won't take advantage of is that Themyscira TV show, which is supposed to be kind of like basically the woman of Themyscira. They're going to be in some kind of war thing. It's going to be like Game of Thrones style. That doesn't seem really interesting for figures, like for collectors. I don't think anyone's going to be jumping on that. So that's probably not going to happen. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like someone like Ares shows up and looks badass. Then yeah, that different story there. But we'll see. I'm not too excited about that project myself. Tell me, what do you guys think? That ain't doing it for me. Another project is Amanda Waller. Now, I think it's just called Waller. But Amanda Waller is going to have her own show, and it's going to be with the Peacemaker characters, not Peacemaker himself. But obviously, again, who knows if that's going to actually be made into anything. I don't know. It didn't seem too interesting to me. And I know that McFarlane said that he doesn't like to make suited characters or female characters. So when you take a female character and a person who's just wearing a business suit, it's probably not gonna sell. So I'd be surprised if he makes an Amanda Waller figure, but I'd expect to not see anything from that. Another thing that Amanda Waller is a part of, though, is the Creature Commandos. Now, that is the animated project. That was like the first thing that they talked about. So that you just get like a whole lineup of characters. I don't know if those are the actual characters that we will see, but if it is, then that's going to be an interesting lineup, especially if McFarlane gets to make those as figures. I'd be pretty interested. Now, what I noticed in that picture, though, is that you see Weasel. Now, Weasel was in the Suicide Squad. He got skipped out on. So the fact that this character is appearing again and is a part of that DCU and essentially the first movie, because it is James Gunn's Suicide Squad, right? That character I would love to see. I would love to see the Weasel get made. And I think it is time we do see the other Suicide Squad characters get made as well. But I'll dive more into that later at the end of the video. So with that, we move on to another project. Now, this is Supergirl. Supergirl, what was it? Woman of Tomorrow. The title ain't doing it for me. But that, I mean, hey, I don't know. I guess we're gonna get a Supergirl figure probably. And if it's more cosmic-y, maybe there's something else interesting to get in that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a Supergirl movie figure. And obviously, I don't know if that's going to be the same one from the Flash movie. I don't know if they're rebooting her. That'd be pretty sucky for that person who played Supergirl. But hey, if that's what it takes to reboot Ezra, then sure, go ahead. Get him out of there. Now, this project I am most excited about is the Lanterns HBO TV adaptation series. Lanterns, it's going to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. That's already confirmed. So we will likely, hopefully, see those figures get made. I would love to see as much Lanterns get made as possible. I mean, the way Todd McFarlane is with Batman is the same way I probably am with Green Lantern, except I would just like every different Lantern Corps, get the different characters, not necessarily just 40 Hal Jordans. But, I would definitely like to see a movie version of those characters, or live action, I should say. Because if I say movie, then you're thinking I'm talking Ryan Reynolds, which, when I first saw that movie, I wouldn't admit that it was a bad movie because I was that much of a fan of Green Lantern. And then after years went by, I could say, yeah, that was terrible. I regret saying it was a good movie when I was younger. But here we are now. We're going to hopefully get something good with the Lanterns show. Now, another thing I'm excited about seeing is Booster Gold. Now, Booster Gold, who knows how that's going to be, but we should see a good figure out of that. I'm going to assume it is going to be a TV show as well, though, so who knows. But that's going to be a interesting one. I'd love to see Booster Gold. I love the comic figure McFarlane made. That was on my top two, I think, from 2022 as far as DC Multiverse figures go. Definitely was a great figure, so I'm excited to see a live-action Booster Gold. Of course, there is Swamp Thing, so Swamp Thing should get a live-action version, and that might look really dope. I mean, if McFarlane gets the paint applications right, and sculpt, I think he's there because we got some pretty great Swamp Thing figures. But if he gets the right paint for it, for that live action feel, I'm definitely excited for it. I think that's going to be a great figure. Hey, we got until at least 2025 to wait for these figures, so it's going to be a long time before we see any of these things actually get made. And who knows, maybe things start falling apart and then they get canceled. Who knows, right? Because you can't be sure that all these projects that were just announced are going to be gold tier products, right? Like, these might be terrible in production. This might flop. This might get canceled midway through. I don't think that would happen because it has to do with a lot of planning, but that could, right? So who knows if these figures will actually get made. But in the meantime, I think since there is a gap, I mean, obviously in 2023 we're set with figures, but if we're seeing nothing until 2025, till that point, except for the exception of like Joker 2 and maybe Matt Reeves' Batman 2, maybe, like, is McFarlane going to make figures of them? Batman 2 for sure. Joker 2, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But with that time, if 2024, there's nothing on the schedule, I think it'd be best to start seeing those legacy characters that were introduced already but haven't gotten a figure. So, of course, if you've seen my previous videos before, anytime I talk about DC movie figures, the Suicide Squad, let's get those going. I want to complete Team 1 and Team 2. I want to get the bad guys. I want to get the Thinker. I want to get Starro. Let's go and get Vigilante. Let's from Peacemaker. Let's go and get, you know, all these characters. And then you got, of course, Shazam with the Marvel family, Freddie Freeman and such. You know, you got those 5 that you can make. 2024, you know, it's obviously that's not going to come until a year from now. But if you got so much time until 2025 before even one film comes out, I think now would be the best time to catch up on those movies. You know, hey, McFarlane, Captain Boomerang, Ratcatcher 2, come on, you know, throw in some Starro spores. Let's make this fun. Let's make it happen. So that's my little rant on that. So if you guys are familiar with the channel, you know I've said that several times. But I've always imagined just seeing a mega wave with getting those characters and getting a giant Starro. So hopefully that happens. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know, but since Weasel is making a comeback, maybe that can open the door. Let's get Weasel, let's get Savant, let's get Javelin. You know, you already have the Javelin Spear. That's a throw-in. That's already a reissue practically, right? I definitely just wanted to speculate on the figures that we could possibly see. I'm excited for some of them. Some I'm not. Put down in the comments, who would you like to see get made into figure form? What project are you excited for? Which one are you not excited for? That's it for today's video, so thank you guys for watching.